So Horizon Zero Dawn is definitely one of those games that caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting another franchise from Guerrilla Games. I mean, I played a few of the Killzone titles myself, and to be honest, I thought they were just going to keep going with Killzone. The last thing I would expect them to do is give us another new IP. But like during the Sony press conference, I will admit, when I first saw it, I mean, I didn't really think much of it. I just thought I was watching a CG trailer for like the first minute or so. And I wasn't thinking much of it. I was actually kind of bored watching it at first. Because I'm thinking to myself, you know, you're introducing this new IP and you're just showing, you know, CG cutscenes explaining the story and not showing any gameplay, not showing how the game's gonna work. That's what was turning me off at first. But then when what I thought was a CG cutscene transitioned into actual gameplay, my mind was blown. Because you see the camera behind the protagonist of the game, and as it zooms out, I'm thinking, oh, the title screen's gonna come on and it's gonna show, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn coming to PS4 eventually. But it didn't. It kept zooming out, and I'm like, okay, when's the title gonna show up? When's the scene gonna cut to black? And then it didn't do that. It transitioned into actual gameplay. I'm like, what? So one thing I will give Guerrilla Games is they know how to make a presentation. They know how to make eye candy for people to see, and this by far was eye candy to the max. That's not saying the gameplay that was shown was amazing, because from what I saw, it looked pretty amazing. Like all the wildlife had a mixture of like machinery and like some synthetics into it. It seems really cool. All the robot animals look different. They weren't one and the same. Especially that T-Rex fight. Oh my god, that was pretty awesome. You know, you have her like pulling bows, shooting off all pieces of the T-Rex. You see all the pieces falling off into the land. They don't like just fall onto the ground and disappear. It's just, it was really cool. It was really awesome. And she was able to like shoot off that massive turret off of its back and use it against it. That was, oh my god. Now as to what I'm expecting from it, I mean, just by the trailer alone, I'm assuming this is going to be an open world game. And an open world game with that level of detail, the only other game that I could think of with that level of detail in an open world environment is Witcher 3. Like that game, if you haven't played Witcher 3, play it. Like that game is gorgeous and a blast to play. But this game, it looks pretty fun too. It looks really awesome. One thing I am worried about though is that it's being made by Guerrilla Games. And the reason why I'm worried about that is that for sure the presentation, because some people speculate that, you know, whatever you see at E3, expect a downgrade in graphics from the actual product, because, I mean, let's face it, that happens like nearly all the time with all these games at E3. But the thing with Guerrilla Games is their downgrade in graphics, if they even do it, their downgrade in graphics is really not that noticeable. Because what they showed at E3 for Killzone Shadowfall, it looked pretty much the same as the actual product when it released. So seeing this new IP from Guerrilla Games, Horizon Zero Dawn, I'm thinking it's gonna look like that. And if it does, that's pretty good on their part in terms of presentation. Now the actual part that I'm worried about is the story. Reason why I'm saying that is because as much as I love Killzone, I love playing Killzone. I played Killzone 1, 2, 3, and Shadowfall, and a few of the spin-off titles on PSP and PS Vita. The problem with all of those games is that they lacked a genuine story. And the reason why I make that a big deal is because the lore of Killzone, I love it. I love the history of the Helghast. I love the history of the VSA. I love their, you know, constant battle between each other that never seems to stop. And the lore in the Killzone's franchise is just so rich. And then when the story comes into play in each installment, it's just lackluster. I really don't like it. Like there's some characters that I hate, like Rico from Killzone 2 and 3. There are some characters I hate the voices of, and just the overall story. And that's the main thing with me. The story is just lacking, but the lore is there. That's the problem. And I get the same feeling with Horizon Zero Dawn. From what I saw in the trailer, that lore looks amazing. It looks like a post-apocalyptic world that went back into the Stone Age, and now people are basically like cavemen again, but now instead of hunting wildlife animals, they're like these giant massive robots. Like, that looks awesome. That looks so fun. But the problem is, I feel like the story is gonna lack. And Guerrilla Games has shown that through all of their Killzone games. At least in my opinion, that's what I'm seeing it as. Because Killzone Shadowfall, I loved it. I loved Killzone Shadowfall. The problem with it was the story. I mean, with Killzone Shadowfall, you know you've raised a red flag when I can barely hear the fucking protagonist talking. People are speaking in complete sentences. I already forgot the name of the person you play as in Killzone Shadowfall, but basically every line he spoke, it was a fucking whisper. It just blew my mind. Like, how in the hell did this get through Greenlight? Like it seemed like he did his first take reading the script. It just seemed, it was blasphemy. So that is just my only worry. I'm hoping the people at Guerrilla Games get their shit together for this new IP. Just get a new cast recruitment team, get like genuine voice actors, get a genuine script writer, make this thing fun to play through the entire thing. Because from what it looks like, it may be only a single player story. So if that's the case, I really want the single player story to be good. Yeah, other than that, the game looks amazing. It looks really awesome. And again, presentation, the level of detail that there was when that one chick was shooting explosive arrows like into the T-Rex and armor was falling off, and then you had to pinpoint like the vital spot to like actually kill it, and the harpoon arrows to pin it down. All of it looked amazing. By far, one of the best new IPs Sony had to offer at this year's E3. Let me know what you all think in the comments below. Are you guys excited for Horizon Zero Dawn? Were you disappointed by the trailer? Are you guys hoping that Guerrilla Games hopefully gets their single player story shit together? Because again, the lore is there. I'm interested in that world. I was interested in Killzone's world. But they just need to make a genuine campaign with characters that don't sound like shit, with a story that I actually care about, and protagonists that just aren't fucking annoying. Please, no fucking annoying protagonists. Please, Guerrilla Games. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, if you could drop me a like, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, I will love you forever, people. And as always, stay beautiful.